Okay.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah. Now yeah, we're live now.
It keeps doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I know. But when I record it, it's gonna look. It looks like this, but then
Uh-huh.
it goes back to this normal screen. Yeah, I don't really know why it does this, but yep,
Okay.
that's what it does. All
All
right.
right.
So
Can you
start
see me
off.
all right?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, that's perfect. Right there.
Okay, let me put my cup behind me.
Okay.
How's that?
Yep, that's perfect.
Okay.
All right.
I,
So
I even put my athletic shirt on, but you can't really see it.
yeah, I had to put a polo on too.
There's Lions Creek Athletics on it.
Okay. So all right. So we'll start off, and my name is Ryan Raden, and I'm gonna introduce Thomas Bellamy. I'm gonna ask him what his position is and what exactly does he do. And so here we go.
Okay.
All right. So Mr. Bellamy, what exactly do you do, and how does it involve the athletic director and things like that?
Right. I am an assistant principal at Lions Creek Middle School in Coconut Creek, Florida. I am the administrator that oversees our athletic department, including our athletic director.
Perfect. So how often is the budget revised, and what type of input does the budget manager collect from the department heads slash coaches within the organization?
Our budget is revised once a year. We sit down and take a look at, how the previous year went, any gaps, anything that was missing, what went well, what we lacking in, and then we take a look at the upcoming year and make those decisions for the following year.
All right, that sounds good. Do all employees have access to the budget information?
Yes, we are a public school, and books are open, and anything that anybody has a question on, it's all public record under the Sunshine Law.
Okay. Oh yeah, and to let everyone know, he's in Florida. Where I'm in the state of Louisiana right now, so that's so we know about that. So looking up schools, it's in the state of Florida.
Yes, it's in
Um,
Coconut Creek, Florida.
mm,
Right.
so next question: how are budget figures derived from year to year, sport to sport, or season to season?
Yeah, the biggest part of the athletic budget obviously is our coaching, the payroll, supplements and such, and that's handed down through contract from the central office. Each coaching position is assigned a salary. There is a discretionary amount that we at the school then can work with in case we want to add a sport that some schools don't have sports. We can also request coaching supplements for a different type of sport that may not be one of the ones listed that the central office does give us. Also, within that budget, we do have to take a look at equipment, transportation, and other miscellaneous fees.
All right, perfect. What does the budget slash financial manager believe are the three most important facets associated with the budget process, and how do they communicate to these tenants to the other in the organization?
Well, the number one thing would be salaries because that's probably the biggest chunk of the budget, and that is pretty much set and given to us. We don't really change that. The only thing we can do in salaries, if we can take some of the discretionary funds, and if we add an additional coach, if we have one team that's really big or not, we can add that. The second, probably the most important things are going to be your equipment, uniforms, um, the operating, and then probably third. Then after that would be um, the fees, the different tournaments they may enter and go to, or additional contests.
Okay, that sounds good. So ultimately, who in the organization must be accountable for the budgeting process?
Well, ultimately, we report to our budgeting office, and obviously, all the budgets have to be balanced. We can't go over. Obviously, they won't allow you to. So, if you want to think of it, within our school, I would be reporting directly to the principal, who would add any budgetary items, would approve them at the school level. Then the principal then would submit them to the budget office, and the budget office would have to approve everything.
Okay. So now we're talking about more technology. What is the technology application used, and what do you like about the software, and what are the problems using the application, and how did you learn to use the application?
Our school system, all of our budgeting, everything from running your school to athletics, is it's a program called SAP GUI. It's a acronym, I'm sure, for something. I have no idea what the acronym is. Um, it's it's out of the central office. All schools use the same thing. It's fairly user friendly. It's pretty much you just punch in the numbers of what you're going to do, what you're using. Um, there is a little bit place in there. So, like if we are going to add an additional coach or support or some additional things, we can put that in also. But it's pretty user friendly. Just put in, the numbers of the things that they ask you. Not a whole lot to it. We were all trained through the district on it, or anybody that needed to use it is trained. So it was training through our central office.
Okay. So I know you're not the actual athletic director, but if you could answer, what do you think is the hardest thing for the athletic director at your school?
Um, I have quite an extensive background in athletics, so I do kind of know what the athletic director does have to go through. And I would say probably the most difficult thing, especially at the middle school level, is staffing. To find, you have people that are like, oh yeah, I played high school soccer, or I can be the coach, or I can, it's other, at the middle school level, it's all teachers. To try to fit the right person in. Um, it's real difficult to find women's coaches. We find, let's say female teachers that want to coach the girls' team. So we have a lot of men that coach the girls' team. That does issue a challenge with making sure that we do have a chaperone going with them, whether it's a female parent or another teacher on most of the times when we travel and such, just for all legality sakes. But overall, I would say staffing is probably the most difficult.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Bellamy, and hopefully this went well and everything.
All right.
Uh,
And then any other questions you have, don't
no,
hesitate.
no other questions, right? So I think I should be all right there. So
All right.
thank you.
Very good.
All right.
You got it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.